is 1:30, and this is Radio Free Dixie, the voice of liberalism in the made great again South. From the Ozarks and the Kentucky hills, down to the bayous and the Gulf of America shores, from Texas to the Carolinas and Maryland down to Georgia, but not Florida. Never Florida. Even we aren't that inclusive. Before we resume our regularly scheduled programming, we have a message for the people of Los Angeles and the state of California. The people of Dixie and people around the world are appalled at the unmitigated gall of members of our government blatantly disregarding your rights. The people of the South stand with you. In the sweltering shadows of an aging courthouse where whispers bear the weight of forgotten histories, the solemn truth of the American law stands guarded by the frail pages of the Constitution. This law, cloaked in the righteous language of liberty, forbids the federal military from becoming the hand that polices its own blood unless summoned by the insistent voice of Congress or the rare exceptions scripted in statutes like the Insurrection Act. The Posse Comitatus Act, sprung from the ashes of a fractured Reconstruction, seals this prohibition with a spectral oath of restraint, intended to shield the fragile flame of democracy from the suffocating smog of martial law. Yet, like a southern tale swollen by a rising river, loopholes shimmer beneath the surface, the National Guard shifting hats between state and federal commands, and the quiet invocation of authority that sometimes slips past the vigilant eyes sworn to protect the people. Beneath the crumbling facades of authoritarian regimes in the Old World and beyond, the military's iron grip has often strangled the very breath of the people it was meant to protect. In those haunted lands, soldiers become shadows of dread, puppets bearing the commands of despots who trade justice for the entrails of fear and silence. From the genocidal terrors in Cambodia to the merciless purges in Chechnya and the brutal silencing in Syria, the army has been the somber conductor of a macabre symphony of repression, orchestrating violence that pits citizen against citizen and morphs loyalty into a grim contest of survival. Such regimes breed a climate of despair, where the drums of power echo with the cries of the oppressed, and the uniformed enforcers serve as instruments of tyranny rather than guardians of peace. Amidst the twisting corridors of this moral labyrinth stands the individual soldier, caught between the duty to obey and the higher call of conscience. The law, delicate yet resolute, commands service members to follow lawful orders, but grants sanctuary from the shadows of illegality. Articles 90 and 92 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice weave a complicated tapestry, declaring unlawful any order that violates constitutional rights or commands a crime. The dark lesson of my lie hangs heavy in the mind's eye, a chilling reminder that obedience is no refuge when the order spills the blood of innocence. A soldier's right to refuse an unlawful command is both a shield and a burden, requiring swift discernment, courage, and sometimes sacrifice. As the harrowing stories of Abu Ghraib and related scandals attest, the soldier's oath, sworn solemnly not to men but to the Constitution, bids them to preserve the nation's soul from corruption and desecration, even at the cost of disobedience. Yet, through every storm of doubt and tempest of turmoil, the American military emerges as the storied guardian of freedom's sacred promise. Their history, adorned with sacrifices and valor, spans from battlefields abroad to the hills of our own divided past, upheld by countless veterans who fought not only to defend borders, but to enshrine liberty for all Americans. At Radio Free Dixie, our prayers ascend, whispered invocations to the God of our understanding, that we beseech divine wisdom upon those in uniform, that they may be guided by a hand both wise and just, in the reckoning of orders, the guarding of peace, and the tender stewardship of freedom's flame.